Long time no see, buddy.
Seriously.
It's been like 40 minutes.
Man, has it been that long?
I actually don't know.
I think it was actually a little longer than that.
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? The world will never know.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. It's odd. Oh, never mind.
What's odd?
Oh, my computer's catching up on text messages from the last few days.
Oh, don't you just love that?
And it's like, it just sent me a message that I was like, wait, what? And I realized it's from the other day.
Don't you just love that?
I don't know if I love it per se. Anyone seen the god dang Dumbledore trailer yet?
I haven't even looked. I was looking for sleep wake lights.
See, wake lights. The fuck is that? Like a light alarm clock?
Yeah.
Why? You have a phone. Don't phones do that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I want an actually good light. I have, well, I should say had one in here. I actually wouldn't say it was a good one, to be fair. But I no longer have that lamp in my room anymore, so I don't.
Oh no.
I know. So I gotta figure something else out. Because, yeah, I like actually having a light that would come on when my alarm goes off to help wake me up.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking for replacements, and they're expensive. Like, I've never really looked at Hue bulbs, like actually seriously buying Hue bulbs until now. Well, the bulbs are reasonably priced, but since I don't have a lamp in my room anymore, I need a lamp. So their lamps are like fucking over $100
I love lamps.
for a decent one. I love lamp too.
Try Lamps Plus. Is that still there? Lamps Plus.
I have no idea if Lamps Plus is still a thing.
I do like looking at lamps when I go to like Home Depot and Lowe's though, like the lights area, like the ceiling fans and lights. I do like looking at those. Like I don't know if that's a weird old person thing.
I think it's a weird old person thing.
Fair enough. Okay.
And I say that as just mostly when you get older and you start actually owning things like a house and whatnot, you like to decorate it in your own aesthetic. And so you start to appreciate things like that more. Like when I was, younger, I would never even think twice of what a coffee table looks like or anything like that. But boy, when it's time to actually own one, it's like, no, I kind of want to make sure I get one that I like and a nice looking one and this and that and everything matches and has a nice flow to it.
Yeah. Being an
So
adult
yeah,
is
it's definitely
weird.
an age thing. One thing I never want to do though is get to the age where you talk about lawns.
Oh yeah, no, that will never leave my face ever. If I even have those
Thank
thoughts,
you.
I will just shut down and I'll be quiet.
Thank you.
Because
I never want to get to the age where my lawn is what my personality exists around and mowing lawns and stuff like that. Fuck it. If I ever do get a house that I do have a backyard, it's just going to be AstroTurf. So that's like, I don't have to worry about it.
seems accurate.
Mm-hmm. Especially if I continue to live in Arizona. That shit dies. Well, I mean, I guess it dies pretty much everywhere, but that shit dies.
Yeah.
You really have to take care of that stuff. AstroTurf, you don't have to take care of. It's fake grass.
You can fake water it. You'd be like,
Totally
yeah,
fake water it all
I'm
the time.
totally watering this. Not.
Totally watering my plants, my grass. My parents have fake grass in their backyard.
Do they?
Looks nice. Yeah, they do. Looks nice. Don't have to take care of it. It's awesome.
It's definitely the way to go.
Yep, especially in Arizona. I mean, probably everywhere else too, but especially in Arizona.
I'm thinking Arizona is a little different with the extreme heat and the fact that plants here don't really survive.
If you don't grow, which is what I've never understood about. I mean, I understand it, I guess, but I don't fully understand it. You should plant trees and shrubbery that exists in the place naturally, exists in the place that you live, because it would not only give those plants the utmost possibility of surviving on their own, but you know, it's a lot less something to take care of.
A lot less work.
A lot less work. You know, pretty much what grows in Arizona is cactuses and like plants that can survive on no water. So then why are we installing giant trees that don't exist down here and have to be constantly watered? It makes no sense to me. Never has.
It's true. Why fight against nature?
Yeah. And besides, some of it actually looks pretty nice. I would, if I could have like one of those Sahara trees that should survive off of next to nothing in my front yard, I think that'd be cool looking.
Fuck is a Sahara tree?
It's one of those trees like you see in like the Lion King, or you know the African trees that has like the, you know, the bony branches but have like the
like
leaves on the end
from Black Panther.
Yeah. They can survive in harsh climates, so it probably should, you know, survive in Arizona. Should. It might be introducing maybe an invasive species into the ecosystem, but you know, to the spoils, you know, to the spoils go to the victor. You know.
Yeah, I guess.
All I'm saying, you would probably like that too. You have a bunch of little cats just hanging around in the tree.
Hell yeah, dude.
Right?
Big old cats, really, but yeah.
Big old cats.
Paige
can finally get her Savannah cat. Savannah cat.
Savannah?
Yeah.
To go along with the Sahara tree?
Yeah, exactly. It's a win-win. Yeah.
It's a win-win-win.
Right, because when she wins, you win.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah.
Anyway.
What the hell?
As you can tell, I really didn't have anything saved up this week to talk about, because there really wasn't a whole lot this week that I really cared to talk about.
Nah, this week sucks.
Well, there is one story that I saved real quick, and that is the new Kindle Paperwhite has come out.
Oh, shit.
Nothing really extravagant there, but apparently it features wireless charging.
Excuse me?
Yep.
Do the new ones have C on it yet?
This one does.
Okay.
This is... Where'd it go? This is the first one in a while that they've released. Excuse me.
Burpy burp.
Yeah, the fucking sparkling water.
Dang, it has a 6.8-inch screen?
6.8 screen.
Holy smokes.
Battery life is supposed to last up to over 10 weeks. USB-C charging port. And wireless charging. So, I am hoping that soon they release a Kindle Oasis with wireless charging, as well, and USB-C. I hate charging my Kindle and having to do the USB flippy flop, trying to figure out which way things go in.
Yeah, it sucks.
All right, so here's the full specs: 8 GB of storage, or 32 gigs in the Signature Edition. I think the Signature Edition, is the one that actually has the key certified wireless pad built into it.
32 gigs?
Yep.
Trying to get the whole Congress of Library of Congress in there, or what? Holy shit!
Seriously, well, I don't even. How big is? I think my Kindle is an 8 gig, and it's like that's way more than I would need anyway. 6.8-inch screen, 300 ppi, 16 level grayscale. Front light is 17 LEDs with adjustable color temperature, which is dope. I love that feature on my Oasis. The actual dimensions, 6.9 by 4.9 by 3.2 inches. So incredibly small. Weighs about 7 ounces for the 8 gig, 7.23 for the 8 gig, 7.34 for the 32 gig. So, just a little bit more for that extra storage, I guess. Wi-Fi 5 built in, so it's got 802.11 AC as well as Bluetooth, which is cool. Battery life up to 10 weeks on a single charge. USB-C port on both versions, or the optional 10-watt key certified wireless pad for the Signature Edition. Ad-free versions are extra $20, blah, blah, blah. And the prices are $140 for the ad-supported and $190 for the ad-supported Signature Edition.
Is there a... Oh, without ads. I'm looking at that one. Okay, yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, without ads, you're paying for extra $20. So without ads, it would be $160, and without ads for the Signature Edition, it'd be $210.
I would definitely do that.
It's very tempting to just get this. I'm not gonna lie, for the wireless charging, that is a huge selling point for me. It always has been a huge selling point for me. If Apple tomorrow said, "Hey, our next iPad is going to have wireless charging in it," I'm pretty sure I'd buy a new iPad just based off that. I fucking hate cables altogether. Yeah. Just hate cables, all cables. Hate them.
I'm right there with you, homie.
But I would hope that their flagship model, the Oasis, would have wireless charging built into the next version of it.
That's why it has so much storage. I forgot they do audiobooks now.
Yes, the Oasis does audiobooks.
That's why it has. Well. Because 8 gigs is a fuck ton for ebooks, but if you're doing audio, that makes sense too.
Yeah. Does your Kindle actually tell you how much storage you're using? I have no idea. I've never even looked it up. It's not a thing that...
My Kindle's in the other room charging, so... I don't know. Oh, actually, no, my Kindle's in here. Never mind. No, it is in the other room. Never mind. I was right. It's in the other room. It's plugged in the bedroom.
Let's see. Device info. Well, it says I have 5.72 gigabytes of free space. And I'm pretty sure I have an 8 gig version. So... How many books do I have on here? Is that a thing that it tells you?
If you go to your library, I think it says one of. Oh no, that's pages. I don't know.
Library. Yeah, I have 42 pages. If there's 6 books per page, get the old calculator out here. Maybe. Hello. Nothing wants to work right now. There we go. 42 times 6, 252 books on my Kindle. And that doesn't even take up half my storage space on here.
Yeah, they take up... The books are so small, like it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I do think that it is a cool feature to be able to. I just realized I need to plug it in because it's getting pretty low. It is a cool feature to be able to do the audiobook stuff on here, but I just don't see why, I guess. Like, if I'm going to be doing audio stuff, I'm carrying around my phone.
Yeah, but this is for people who don't want to carry the phone, like, or put it on the phone. They'd rather have it on one device. You know, like one device for whatever, like for reading stuff or audio book stuff as well. The only thing though is you're buying into an ecosystem at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like with having it on an iPad. I mean, obviously having it on an iPad or an iPhone, you're in an ecosystem. But what I'm saying is, like, you have it on your iPad. Not that I ever really wanted to read a book on my iPad. Comic book, yes. Regular book, probably not.
Right.
But you have the option to in your audio. But I mean, having the other issue too to go along with that is if you have it audio on your Kindle and you're using Bluetooth, that means you're switching your Bluetooth headphones back and forth, which on some Bluetooth headphones is a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah,
because you have to tell it to disconnect from one and then connect to the other one. Versus, I mean, I'm pretty sure people aren't going to have multiple pairs of Bluetooth headphones for all their devices. I mean, someone.
No, and I hate that as well. This got me thinking of what is the specs on the Oasis. The Oasis is a 7-inch display. Let's see, where is it? 7-inch paperwhite display technology with next-gen e-paper, blah blah blah, built-in light, 300 ppi. Optimized font technology, and 16 level grayscale. So it's essentially the same screen on the new Kindle. Size wise, it looks about the same as well. Actually, the Oasis is slightly a bit shorter, but fatter. But that makes sense because the Oasis has the actual physical buttons on the side.
Yeah. And
it is thinner in places because it's mostly screen in place, and then you have that little bulge at the side, left or right, depending on which way you hold it. But it's only like 0.01 inches thicker at that point than the Kindle. The new Kindle is actually heftier. The Oasis is 6.6 ounces versus the 7.23 or the 7.34. Same amount of storage, 8 gigs or 32 gigs. Single charge lasts up to 6 weeks on the Oasis versus 10 weeks. Of course, it doesn't have USB-C or wireless charging in the Oasis. In the Oasis, it has USB Mini. Wi-Fi is 802.11b, G, or N standards, which makes sense because AC wasn't a big standard when the Oasis came out. So pretty much, it literally is just a newer version of the Oasis, because where it counts really is the screen.
Yeah,
and the screen looks to be pretty much exactly the same. So that's cool.
That is pretty neato.
I'd like to see one in person though, and I wonder how much you could get, because you could trade in your Kindle and get a little bit towards a new one.
Yeah.
But like I said as well, I would be more curious to wait for a new Kindle Oasis and see if they don't do wireless charging on that. They have to. Like, that's the flagship. That's their most expensive device for the Kindles is the Oasis.
Yeah, because it's their cream of the crop.
Yeah. So I can only imagine that a new Oasis would have an even better screen, same amount of, better battery life, than the current Oasis is. Hopefully more along the lines of the Paperwhites, because 10 plus weeks is
madness.
Madness. It's set it and forget it. I already forget to charge my Kindle as it is because the battery lasts for so long. Even in between where it's sitting there saying, "Hey man, you should probably charge me," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it later, some other day."
I mean, I will do it eventually.
I will do it when you basically stop working because I forgot to actually charge you. But that's one of the reasons why I would love a wireless version, so that I don't have to think about it. I can just slap it onto one of the billion fucking wireless chargers that I have on my nightstand. Oh, you need a charge? Yeet.
Here you go.
Suck up all that sweet, sweet wireless juice that you want.
Suck it all up.
Suck it all up. Speaking of sucking it all up, have you started playing the Destiny? That launched, right?
The Witch Queen?
The Witch Queen launched 2 days ago? One day ago?
Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday. Yeah, so 2 days ago. How is it? You having fun?
I am, yeah. So I haven't got all the features yet because it's just like any game. The end game is where obviously a lot of it comes from. So you get a little bit. So in this one, for the folks who don't know Destiny or don't care, but you're going to hear it anyways, there's the Witch Queen, the newest expansion. Every year, there's a big expansion, and then there's seasons that go throughout there that tell narrative stories. So the last one that came out, Beyond Light, was the expansion to Europa, and it added a new light subclass, a dark subclass, blah, 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 right? So Witch Queen, going a little differently. Instead of doing a new subclass, they're going to start restructuring how the subclasses are tweaked and used, the way they did with the Stasis subclass in Beyond Light. And what that basically means, if Joe remembers, when you pick your subclass, either Arc, Solar, or Void, now with Stasis in there as well, you then had a tree system. So there's 3 different supers within each one that you could utilize depending on what class you were. Or actually, all of them have the same those 3. There's variations for what class you are. So, for example, if you were top tree in one of them, you then have different types of grenades, different type of melee, and a different type of jump style, right?
Yep.
So that was it. You had 3 choices for each one. So you had 3 supers to choose from, 3 types of grenades, and 3 types of jumps, all affected by what you chose and how you wanted to play. Mm-hmm. So jump to Stasis, and you got a little more tweakability out of it. So you still had those same 3 things. You have a super you can choose from. You had your grenade type, your melee type, and your jump type, right? Each one of those then had, actually, the melee and the grenade, you could tweak those to be different types of grenades, right? Like one would blow up and have little seekers that went after other enemies, or it would pull the enemies towards them, whatever happens to be. Then they added these things, which the name of them is escaping me right now, but they're little add-ons to the abilities. So, for example, if you wanted to use a more powerful grenade, you could charge the grenade, and then you could use it like a Hadouken, basically, right? You could throw it, and it would do more damage, whatever happens to be. There's even one where you could charge it, and then once it's fully charged, when you throw it out, it makes a little turret that would then freeze enemies, and it would last for a long time.
Okay.
So instead of being grenades, little turret, but it would stay stationary. It wouldn't go anywhere. It wouldn't follow you. It would just be stationary, which is fine because you're going to encounters, throw it down, and let it fucking freeze things and just murder them. So They're doing that same thing with all the subclasses. They started with Void. They call it Void 3.0 because this is the 3rd iteration of the subclasses. And you have these variants that you slowly unlock as you go through the game and you play them. So that's pretty cool. Kind of gives a new ability, a new way to tweak your abilities and kind of like change your play style and things like that. Super dope, super fun. I haven't played with a little bit. I've only played with a little bit while I've kind of going through because I'm still doing the campaign stuff because I can't play for 19 hours a day because I have a job and a life. But so that's pretty cool. And each one's a little different. Obviously, I play a warlock, so I don't know what all the other ones are just yet because I haven't really watched a lot of videos because I'm trying to avoid spoilers.
Right.
So that's cool. So they have that new, and then they're gonna do the same thing to Arc and Solar further down the year, I believe they said, up until probably this time next year. So it's fun. Then you have weapon crafting. So this is the first time. So I don't remember if you ever played any of the Black Armory stuff.
No, I didn't play any of that. My last thing was Mars Warmind, I think, and that was the last thing I played.
Okay, yeah, it was after that. So Black Armory was cool because you kind of like did this small event to basically like craft an item, but it was basically just like a random roll of a certain gun. So you got like if you wanted an assault rifle, an auto rifle, I should say, not assault rifle, auto rifle. You went and you did this one thing, you got these parts, and then you'd go and do the event and kill a bunch of bad guys, charge the forge, and it would spit out a random roll of that type of weapon. So be it whatever, auto rifle, pistol, whatever. And then you can unlock it. So it's cool, right? Bad thing is they made perks for those guns that only worked in that event.
So they'd be useless outside.
Yes. Yeah. Stupid idea. Cool, whatever. So we jumped forward to 2022, Witch Queen. They introduce actual weapon crafting. So instead of just waiting for RNG, which if RNGesus is on your side, you will get God
Never
rolls.
Is.
Yeah, usually not really. You'll get God rolls or you get a decent roll or whatever. You can now work to get a God roll by making it. So in short, the way weapon crafting works is if you have a gun, a weapon of your choice, because it's not just guns now, it's swords and all sorts of fun shit. Bows and blah, blah, blah. Glaives are a new weapon type. I'll get to that in a minute. And you want these certain types of traits. So you want rampage and you want kill clip, right? Okay. So those are two different perks you can get on the guns. This is just, there's so many perks, it's ridiculous. You would then basically get a weapon type you want, so an auto rifle, for example, and you would then work on unlocking that trait by using the gun, and then you unlock a pattern for a certain gun. Now you can take that gun and you can go and craft it by getting materials, which aren't nearly as hard to get as it has been for a lot of things in the past, and you can then essentially grind your way to a specific roll of a gun.
Okay. And
then once you have all those things, you go to this thing called the Enclave, which is on Mars now because Mars is back, in a way, and you then craft that weapon. So, and it's not one of those things where you just go get this gun and then you pick the traits off of them like you could when in Division. Eventually, remember where you could like take a trait and move it from one gun to the other?
Yeah.
Similar idea, except for you're not sacrificing one gun for another. You're essentially building a gun, but then you can rework a gun with the unlocked traits that you got. So you're using the gun you want to use, right? You use it enough to unlock those traits, and then you go and you use the materials to reshape the weapon to what you want, or shape a new one if you want to. If you have all those traits already unlocked and you want to try these traits on this new type of type of weapon you got. So if you got a auto rifle that's shoots 900 rounds per minute or whatever, you can then unlock that pattern and then put the trait you want on it.
Okay.
So it's really cool, and I haven't got into a lot of it. I've only done a little bit of it. Well, the first thing you do as part of the very first mission is you unlock an artifact, or you unlock the artifact, which is the crafting table, and then you find this piece in the first part of the campaign, and it's the blade to the glaive, and the glaive is an all new weapon type they're introducing. So it's a pole staff, right? You know what a glaive is. 'Cause it's not fucking anything new. So basically, it's a pole staff with a large blade on one end and a trigger. And what the trigger does is allows you to shoot energy from it in a blast through the blade towards an enemy.
Cool.
It also can produce a shield that that doesn't just like sort of reduce damage. It blocks damage for a certain amount of time, then cuts off. And then it's also a melee weapon. And the best part is the melee portion of it, from what I can tell, doesn't use ammo.
That's dope.
So, and it's not just a heavy weapon. It falls in your secondary category. So it is an elemental weapon. The one I got is a void, and it shoots a void projectile that's pretty quick, and then you reload it, and you basically, it's a very bizarre animation. You click a thing, the staff comes off, and you throw another staff on it, and then that is your glaive. It's very bizarre. I didn't think that's what it was going to be like. It was going to be like kind of like a sword where like you just had ammo, but
right?
You actually reload it, and I don't know if that's just the basic, because in this, the first glaive you get, eventually is going to be upgraded to an exotic.
Okay.
But it's very weird, and what's crazy about it too is, unlike a sword, which is a third-person view weapon, this is fully first-person.
Yeah, that is weird.
And you don't have to switch modes of the weapon, right? So you're holding the glaive. If you hold down the aim down sights, which is the left trigger, he holds out in front of him, or your character holds out in front of him, and a shield is produced from the blade area, taking incoming damage from the front of you.
Okay.
And the coolest thing about that is you can still shoot with it.
It makes sense. You're aiming it.
Yeah, so you can shoot. That's pretty cool. And then for the melee, obviously you have to be fairly close to somebody, and you can stab them or slash down at them, or you can you do a combo where you basically stab, swipe at them, and then you hit them with the butt of the spear end, or the pole end. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun, and you're up close and personal, and you really feel like you're just hands-on murdering bad guys.
That sounds dope.
Pretty
that sounds
fucking
like a really
cool.
fun thing to have, especially as a melee weapon in Destiny, because their melee weapons, like you'd said, are ammo based. So once you're out of melee ammo.
Yeah.
For their swords and stuff.
Yeah.
So to have something like that doesn't actually take ammo to use at least as a melee weapon is pretty dope.
Yeah, and it can take out red bars pretty much just, one little swipe or whatever. But it's pretty fun. I was playing earlier today, and I was doing a public event on the new play space, which is known as the Throne World, which I'll get to in a minute when I tell you all about Witch Queen. And I don't know all about it. I'm just going to tell you the basis I know. But we're doing this. We get it in heroic, which again, if you don't know what that is public events are in public play spaces where up to, I think it's 30 guardians at a time can be on it, or it might be 25. I can't remember how many can be on there. But you can all get on there, and this event will basically be happening in certain parts of the map, and it has a standard play mode, which basically if you play in the event, it eventually just ends. It's either you defeat the bad guys or you don't defeat the bad guys. Then there's heroic versions where you do certain things that will change the way that it goes, and usually a bigger, badder boss comes out, and you have to fight him and kill him. And your rewards are supposed to be better.
Supposed to be.
Destiny really has a problem with RNG with it, because you can do a heroic event by yourself, and you can get a blue still, which is mind-numbing.
Which, for those who don't know, that everything's color-coded. Blue is the lowest.
Second lowest.
Then
or third lowest.
Green.
It goes white, green, blue, purple, and then exotic, which is gold.
Right. But once you get to a point, blue is basically your base.
Yeah.
Your bottom of the barrel stuff.
Yep.
So when you go through a heroic event, which can be a huge pain in the ass, and sometimes, especially when you don't have a bunch of people playing with you, cooperating with you to get that heroic event, or even just a bunch of people playing with you, it's a huge pain in the ass. So to take down, because I know you've had tons of stories where you're like, I did this heroic event on my own and fucking got blue shit. Like, the fact that you were able to do a heroic event on your own, I'm not saying you need to be guaranteed legendary stuff, but just give me a good purple or something, you know? Not just blue crap.
Yeah.
That I'm just going to instantly just turn to garbage, assuming that I even pick it up at all.
Yeah, not
but
just
then
wait
it does
for the postmaster to show up. Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, they've always had that problem, and it sounds like they still have that problem.
Sort of, and I'll get to that in a minute too, because that's one of the changes. So yeah, we were all doing this, and then the big baddie pops in, and he comes walking down the hill. You see everyone switch to a glaive, and there's like 8 of us at this point, and we go ham on this motherfucker. You see people hacking and poking and stabbing, and you see other people shooting, and you see one guy just run past everybody and just start stab. And this poor
Leroy
dude,
Jenkins.
Yeah, dude, he must have just been full of fucking holes, just leaking out of every part of his body, because we were just laying into him, and he fucking dies, not like instantly, but he dies pretty quickly, and all of us turn and start taking out red bars. Like, it's just not like, it's just, and it was mayhem, because you, like, unlike a sword where you're third person and you're far away, you're up close. So all you see on this dude is like legs. You're just stabbing and cutting at legs, because this dude's like 19 feet tall, right? So like you're just poking at kneecaps and wieners, and it's just, you see other guardians doing the same thing, and it's just, we're all surrounding this guy like a fucking weird weapon-based gangbang, and we are just unloading on this motherfucker, and it's hilarious. It was hilarious, and he fucking dies, head blows off, whatever, and we're just like, turn. What's our what next target can we go after? This murder, death, kill, whatever's in front of us. It was hilarious. But that's a pretty fun weapon. It's elemental, so green Pez is what fuels it. You don't get a whole lot of ammo with it, but it's kind of like a shotgun in that way. It's like one shot from it, one blast, kills a red bar that's fully powered up. Like, he can be full life. You hit him, he's dead. Orange bar, basically dead. You hit him, get enough close, you stab him, you finish him off. It's a 2-hit weapon on those. And even like shield guys, you hit them once with it, their shield's gone. By that time you're close enough to them, you can just lunge and stab them, and they're pretty much dead anyway. So it's a very handy weapon, just like a shotgun. They're not known for range, but if you get close enough, anything in front of it's going to be dead or dying quickly. So, fun little thing. And you can hold the shield up, and just like anything, when you're aiming down sights, you slow down. Like, you're not running. Right. So you hold the shield up, and you do slow, but it takes incoming damage. And as you progress forward, you can close enough to either shoot them, to knock them back and hurt them, or kill them, and then get close enough to stab, murder, death them with the bladed end of it. So it's pretty fun.
Nice.
So that's the first weapon you craft in the game, and then it steps you through crafting and getting the stuff. And they have this new thing, which I can't remember what it's called, all new terms and shit, but you'll get guns in the wild through RNG that will have a red outline to the box. And what that basically means is you have to use that weapon, and when you do that, it unlocks essence of the weapon, which then you can use for crafting materials. So you get so many kills with this type of weapon, and then you unlock the pattern for that gun, and you can then extract that for elemental or for use to crafting going forward, which is pretty fucking cool on it. So that's one of the new things. When it comes to the blue stuff, so basically what happens is raise the power cap. So every season they raise the power cap. Well, no, I'm not. Yeah, every season they do it.
Yeah, they've raised the power cap.
Yeah,
as far as I'm aware, pretty much every season.
Yeah, I think it's every season they do raise the power cap. So there's a little bit of a they did, because the last one did too, and it was fucking like 3 and like it seems like that last season was like 5 months long. It was ridiculous. I was like level like 340 something. It was
if I recall right, it was a fairly long season.
Yeah, because they were waiting to do, because every season has a narrative tale to it, right? So it's not really, there's a little bit of quest in it, but it's mostly just some kind of like 6-player event you can go do, Last, like they had Battlegrounds, which is a Cabal based one. Different things, right? So the power cap, yeah, it has to because they released a raid, yeah. So power cap goes up. So same thing this time with Witch Queen. You go from base level, which was max at last season was 1350 up to 1500. So, and if you weren't at 1350, and you purchase you start Witch Queen, you'll start at 1350. So you can because otherwise you can't play anything.
So if I joined right now, it would automatically just up my light level now to make it playable for me.
Yep, and then they give you a token for one other character on your account if you're playing multiple characters to then jump to whatever it is.
I don't have enough time to play one character.
Yeah, I know, right? Like
two characters
or three. These fucking psychopaths.
Seriously.
So that's cool. And then so what they did with this, and again I haven't got there yet because I haven't maxed out. Which I think. So what happens is you have a base level, you have a soft cap, and then you have a cap, and then you have an artifact cap, and I'll explain that in a minute. So your base cap is 1450, so it's 100 light levels up from where you were. Then that's your soft cap. Then you have your hard cap, which is the highest your character can get to, and all the items will be eventually at that, which is 1500. Then there's 1550, and what that basically means is every season there's an artifact. The artifact will upgrade as you get experience as you play the game through different events, the campaign, all that fun stuff, and it will get you an extra level every time it upgrades. And every time it upgrades, you then use an unlock to unlock a perk in that artifact. Past seasons, that artifact has only had 12 unlocked out of 25, I think it is.
Okay.
So you pick and choose which one. This season, they're changing it. You can actually, if you play the game, you grind. And I say grind. All it is playing the game. It's just killing enemies, getting experience for doing things. It's opening chests, killing more powerful enemies, playing strikes, whatever it is. Get experience, you unlock there, right? Well, eventually, you'll be able to unlock all 25 perks. Which before, if you had to do is you had to basically re-roll the artifact to basically pull all of them out and then replace all those unlocks to then get you the perks you want. Which sucked because if you didn't know a perk was something you wanted, you had to reset the whole artifact and replace all your points in it. Now you'll be able to unlock all of them through progression of the games, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
So the artifact will give you up to 20 or up to 50 extra points of light as it upgrades, and it'll continue going. So once you hit the hard cap, which I've never done because it gets to a point after the soft cap, it's fucking just impossible to do. Because once you get to a soft cap, all your regular drops will always be 1450. Then you get your pinnacle drops, and those ones will be anywhere from 3 to 5 light levels higher, depending on the severity of or the level of that pinnacle drop, be it tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, or whatever. So that's how you then utilize those to either upgrade your weapons you have by using the upgrade module, or using that item, which is not the best way of doing it because then you're having to balance your shit all the time, and it's just an aggravation. So just buy upgrade modules or unlock them and just do that way. Just unlock the stuff you like. So there's that. One of the changes they made, quality of life changes, as they say, is the fact that once you hit the soft cap, blues automatically dismantle into materials.
Which is good.
Yes. And the thing about it is, with blues, they don't have a secondary perk on the weapon, so you don't have the same kind of play style. You're kind of limited to what you can have, right? But they also don't drop with the newer ones with that red outline on them for that essence of the weapon or whatever. So they're literally just a building block to feed into your other shit.
Other stuff. Yeah.
So once you get to 450 soft cap, that's not including the artifact. That is your actual light level. They will no longer drop. You do not see them anymore. You just get it, and if the game rolls that drop, because they drop all the time, out of a chest, out of enemies when you pop them, and the little engram falls out. Instead of seeing that on your screen, you're going to see materials pop up. So you're going to see glimmer. You're going to see whatever material it is that comes from that weapon, just pop up and go in your inventory. That's how that works. Now it used to be what is this? What is it called? They just got rid of it. It was another quality of life thing they did. Not weapon telemetry, weapon materials, whatever they called it. So used to when you dismantled a weapon, it would give you one of three things mainly: glimmer, always, a legendary shards if it's a legendary weapon, and then gunsmith materials. That's what it's called. Those three things are what come out of a gun. If it's blue, it gives you less glimmer and gives you less gunsmith materials. If it's legendary, it can give you legendary shards, not shards, shards, gunsmith material and glimmer, more of it. If exotic, same thing, right?
Right.
If you dismantle exotics, that's weird, but you get you get so repeats of some of the armor ones that you don't need to keep all of them because they all have the same roll on them. For the most part, but you can then you dismantle them, you get that. So what they've did a couple seasons ago, they started introducing a different way of upgrading. So if you remember bounty system, right? You go to a vendor, Banshee, Zavala, whoever, you get a bounty from them that do a certain thing in the game. Kill this many enemies or use this type of weapon, whatever it happens to be. Those still exist for XP, for materials, but now they have a rank system with all vendors. That not all vendors, most vendors that are useful right now. And what happens is you do things for them, bounties, dismantle stuff. Instead of getting gunsmith materials for Banshee, you get rank points. And as the rank goes up, you unlock engrams from him that are directly tied to whatever that vendor is. So for Banshee, they're just world drop RNG guns. And it can be anything that's new, including exotics, if you're lucky. But they're always going to be world. They're never going to be specific to an event. So it's not going to be a strike one. That only comes from Zavala. It's going to be a world one because Banshee is a vendor for the open world. So things like that, right? So that's cool because now you're not just stockpiling gunsmith material. You're actually upgrading them, which is going to get you the engram anyways, and you're not tying up inventory space holding on to this gunsmith material, which if you don't stay on top of, you will pile up. And it at the end of last season when they got rid of it, if you didn't use them, they just went away, which is fine because all that stuff, I wasn't really getting anything great out of it, and I spent like 40-something minutes just turning it in, but it's so slow to do. Like, it's hit it, collect the engram, hit it, collect the engram, hit it, collect. It was super annoying. And I was like, I'm not going to go through the fucking, like, 70, like, I must have had over 100,000 of them.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's because every time you dismantle, you knew how much shit you get, right? Every time you dismantle any blue or legendary, you get gunsmith parts.
Yeah.
And they just build up. And once you reach 9,000 or 99,999, it starts a new bunch.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So I was like, this is ridiculous. So I was like, oh, you know what? I don't fucking care enough. I'm not going to get anything out of these drops that I really care about because Witch Queen introduced 50 new guns.
Jesus.
So when I say that, yes, they're new, but they're also revamped versions of guns we've seen in the past. So if you remember Destiny 1, did you play Destiny 1? You didn't play Destiny 1.
No, I never played Destiny 1. I didn't pick up Destiny until Destiny 2.
So Destiny 1 had a big thing about the gun manufacturers. So Omlon, all these different ones, right? Henke, all these different ones. Kind of like Borderlands does with their different weapon types, right? And this one actually makes it even go towards Borderlands even more. Every weapon manufacturer kind of has their own little design, but also kind of thing they're good at, right? Like certain brands make really good shotguns and really good rocket launchers. Cool. So now with Witch Queen and this new weapon meta they have going on, is not only can you craft weapons, but weapons in world drops have brand specific traits to them.
Okay.
So certain brands are good against armored enemies or tanks or whatever, right? So you know that like those are hard hitting weapons.
Right.
Then you have other ones that are like when you use these, a precision shot creates a stasis crystal, which then can affect enemies around you and slow them down. And if you hit it right, you can actually shatter them and kill them as well. So pretty cool, that little things like that. And those are only on world drops. So you can't take and make this gun with it, but you can then reshape a gun that has it on it already. If you have that, if you have that pattern. So little things like that. There's a lot of quality of life things that have changed. Now on to Witch Queen stuff. So Witch Queen, the actual campaign, the story has been evolving over the last couple seasons, where Savathun, the sister of Oryx, who was the big bad guy from Destiny 1, she's been in the background doing shit for quite a long time in Destiny 2. Very mad at you for murdering her brother, which obviously she should be. So she, in the last season, was you found out she was masquerading as one of the characters, an old Vanguard person named Osiris. She was possessing, essentially. When she got pulled out, she was trapped, blah, 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 right? So you do an exorcism at the end of last season, last week, before this season, the new season and the new new campaign started. She escapes capture. Shocker, right? So she emerges with the ship on Mars, because when the darkness happened, certain play spaces went away. It was all story stuff. Mars was one of them. So we played 2 or 3 seasons with no Mars. Mars is back in a way, but it's now known as a throne world, and it's a world controlled by Savathun, who is known as the queen of illusions and mischief and shit like that, right? Basically a Loki, but like a big moth lady. And she has somehow harnessed the light, and so she gives the hive the ability to resurrect with ghosts. And they actually have supers. So there are certain ones, and they're knights, so the big dudes, who have traits like guardians. So there's hunters, there's warlocks, and there's titans. And they have supers that are very, very similar to ours. And if you get hit by them, you will either be dead or damn near close to dying. Okay. So the whole premise of this campaign is you are trying to find out, A, how Savathun has this throne world that she can manipulate and do whatever she wants and basically put on top of Mars, and how did she get the light?
Right.
And so that's the whole story. And this one is all about mystery, and like there's this like mechanic of like was a really cool one in the chapter 2 of the campaign that I did, where you go in and there's your ghost doesn't pop out when it's dark, right? When it's dark, normally your ghost pops out. It gives you like a flashlight so you can see, right? Like whatever's in front of you. This, he doesn't pop up, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? So what you actually have to do is there's these like bulbous, almost looks like cold sores on the side of the wall. When you shoot them, they illuminate. And you have to do that to find your path through these areas. It's actually a pretty cool little effect, but like also they do it in battle areas. So you're like shooting at walls, trying to get these things to fucking light up so you can run, and like it's ridiculous. Oh, I forgot to mention, one of the things they did last season is they introduced primary weapons. So weapons use white ammo, unlimited.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, so you never have to pick up white ammo. You never run out of ammo. So like bows, unlimited ammo. Assault rifles, unlimited ammo. Some submachine guns, unlimited ammo. Hand cannons, unlimited ammo. It's crazy how many weapons. And there's exotics that have it. Remember Sweet Business?
Yeah.
Unlimited ammo.
Nice.
You never have to scrounge for ammo, and that burns through ammo fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It's a great thing to have. So you can literally run like the Trinity Ghoul, right? The exotic bow shoots 3 arrows at a time. If you aim down sights, hold it all the way to full draw, shoots as one big thing, hits times 3, shoots electricity everywhere, right? That technically should be elemental. Uses white ammo, unlimited ammo. You never run out of ammo.
That's fucking dope. Because I remember so many times all the guns you just run out of ammo. It's like, cool. Guess I better run around and try to find ammo.
Yeah, punch this dude, try to get ammo, right? Yeah, super cool that they did that. So with this new campaign, you get new play activities. Just like every season, you have some kind of new event you can go and do with up to 6 or 5 other friends or 5 randos or whatever. And then you have the play space where the new area you can go to with some kind of new character to play with. And there's an ongoing narrative going on, obviously, with that, as well as the main campaign. And it's fun. It's actually a pretty cool thing. Like I said, I haven't gotten into too much of it because I haven't had a chance to play. I played I think an hour Tuesday after I got home from work. I played like a couple hours last night. And I played a bunch of hours today before we met with you earlier for some hot chicken sandwiches. But no, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool stuff. Like I said, there's 50 new weapons to be had, 48 legendary, and 12 exotics. And
nice.
You get if you get the paid season pass, you get one of them right away. If you buy the deluxe edition pre-order or after the fact of Witch Queen, you get a secondary one that you get at the end of the campaign that you have to craft, which is pretty cool because, again, it's just a way of showing you how to do it. And then there's quests that you unlock that will then let you do those. And then there's going to be a raid exotic, some other shit in there too, and then new exotic armors and shit too. But a lot of new weapons to get. And a lot of cool ones because every time if you pick one up and it has a red border, you need to use it to unlock certain traits and things like that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of fun grindiness versus just boring fucking grindiness for this or that. And they're just so far it's actually pretty fun and pretty neato.
Cool.
But yeah, that's not bad. It's pretty fun. It's also funny because this is the first time in a long time where you can't go to certain areas because there's bad guys that are so high powered that you literally cannot do damage to them.
Oh really?
Yes, you go over because you unlock certain areas by going through the campaign, and so you literally when you go there, it just has a red skull where their level is supposed to be, or their icon for whatever they are, and when you shoot them, it just says immune.
Oh, really?
And I walked up and I saw one of these new Hive Guardians, as they call them. And I was like, I'm going to fuck this bitch up. I'm going to shoot her right in her dumb face. And then I'm going to run up and I'm going to grab her ghost. Because the way you kill them, right? Because they have ghosts, they can be resurrected. If you don't kill them, if you kill them, the ghost floats there just like a regular guardian. If you don't get there fast enough, the ghost will resurrect the hive.
Okay.
So what you have to do is you have to run over it and you actually have to kill the ghost. So you run over and you hit the thing they introduced a couple seasons back called finishers, which is basically just a fancy melee move of some sort that does a cinematic. You reach up, you grab the ghost with inside the floating shell, and you squeeze it and it bursts.
Nice.
And it's fucking gnarly. And I'm like, that's real violent, everybody.
Real violent.
So
it might as well be like Indiana Jones, just Kalima and just rip the heart out.
Yeah, it's essentially what it is. You're doing that, but just squishy ghost thing. So I run up to this lady. I'm like, I'm gonna super her right off the bat, right? She's gonna knock her down if it doesn't kill her. So I throw my fucking Nova Bomb, hits her, immune just starts floating in the air. I was like, huh?
Oh, you're immune?
I was like,
look at the time.
I was like, what? I pulled out my rocket launcher. Here, have some Galahorn. Boom, immune. All little things that attack her afterwards, immune. I was like, oh, cheese it. I'm out. Fuck this nonsense. I can't do damage to her at all. And she's like, what's up, dog? And I'm like, no, this is not where I park my car. I got to go.
No.
It's not where I park my Sparrow. I must leave. I must extricate from this area because you are scary. I came in hot and heavy, and she just literally winked off everything. She's like, nope. Yeah. Pretty cool, though. It's in the new environment is like different kind of play spaces. There's like a swamp area. There's like a ruins area, and then there's the palace. So it's pretty cool. It's fun so far. I new stuff to grind for, so it's always kind of fun to get in there and do that.
That's cool. So how much is the expansion? Is it a full price game? Is it?
I believe it's if you buy just the expansion without season passes. I want to say it's $40.
Okay.
If you buy it with the season passage, and I think there's, don't quote me on this, 4 season passes included in it.
Four DLCs.
Yeah, 4 DLCs, which are seasons.
Included in the season, yeah.
Yeah, because you can play, if you buy the base game, there's Witch Queen, because Destiny 2 is free. Like, the base game is free. The expansions, so the newest one, that is $40. Each season is $10 individually. If you buy them all together, I think you get the expansion and 4 seasons, the 4 passes for each of the seasons coming up this year. You get them all for $70, I think.
Okay. So more than a full price game.
Yeah. But that guarantees you exotics, right? So it gives you those, because every season pass you start off with an exotic, and then it unlocks an exotic quest, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of like, it's not play to like win, because it's not going to make you better. Exotics really aren't the best guns in the game. But it's just kind of a perk to get it. And then, but you unlock more stuff, because you can play this regular free season pass, and you can eventually unlock that season's exotic weapon, but it's like way later down the run of the season pass. So you can do the free season pass, which you get by just having the expansion itself. But yeah, I think it's $40 for Witch Queen, if I'm not mistaken. And then if you want to do the each paid season is $10. So you end up saving $10 by buying it as one big bundle, I think, if I remember correctly, because you essentially get one season for free. But
okay,
yeah, and then just like always, there's cosmetics that you get, so you unlock what they refer to as ornaments now, universal ornaments, which is a thing they introduced a while back, where if you find a piece of gear you like, instead of having to change it out and try to make it the same as one before, you can put an ornament on, and the ornament makes it look like another piece of armor. And then 2 seasons ago, they introduced the ability to unlock those. If you get a piece of gear in the game, right? Like, this looks cool as shit, but I really like the specs on my armor I have now.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to look like that. If you dismantle it, it adds it to your ornament list that you can unlock by doing a different grindy thing in the game. Then you can just put the ornament on and look cool, because you can mix and match without having to change your actual your stats.
That's cool.
So you can run around, and then you can change the different colors on all of them, which I still wish they would let you rotate which color is main on those. But whatever. And then, of course, you have a boatload of sparrows and ships you can unlock, and ghost shells and blah, 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 and emotes and all that fun shit like that you can do too. So a lot of fun stuff, a lot of cool stuff. to get and to play. But if you want to jump in, like I said, the base game is free. Not that I'm trying to get people to play, but if you want to try Destiny 2, the base game is completely free to download on your platform of choice of PC, Xbox, or PlayStation. And then the other content is behind the expansions. So right now there's 3 active expansions. There's Shadowkeep, which is the one on the moon. You have I just said it earlier when we were talking about this. Not New Light. New Light is the fucking free game. The one on Europa. What the fuck? Why am I spacing what it's called? Beyond Light. Beyond Light is the other one. And the newest one is Witch Queen. So those are your 3 current expansions. You do not have to have those other ones. It just, you won't have those areas to go to and play. But I will let you know this. They do not hinder your play if you don't have those 2. You just can't go there and do stuff, and you can't unlock content from there. Like, you can't get weapons from those areas. But there's no reason now to go back because those places don't have like pinnacle drops of any sort. There's no progression in the game to go to those places.
Right.
So you don't need to do those if you just want to like jump into the new stuff. So there's no reason that if you want all of it, yeah, you can go back and buy all of it. And I think there's a bundle for like $100 or something where you can buy those expansions if you want to play through those campaigns. But it does not matter. You don't have to, because you're not going to the content for the seasons aren't included in those. You don't get to go and play back those content. That content's gone. It's just the play space and the story you get from it. But you can jump in fresh on Witch Queen, and it'll explain everything that's going on for the most part, and it doesn't hinder you not to have those other expansions because those stories are separate from what you're playing currently. If that makes any sense. The seasons are what tell up to the next expansion and end the expansion, but the season you're currently in is the narrative you're playing through. So you can't go back and play the other seasons.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So if you want like guns that look like Nerf weapons, you can buy Beyond Light and you can get guns that are blue, white, and red that look like Nerf guns.
Okay.
But yeah, that's basically it.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. No, it's lots of fun. I'm having fun so far. Matt and Alicia helped me get the Galahorn last week, which is the revamped Galahorn from the original Destiny game. And it's makes an eagle sound when you shoot rockets out of it, so that's pretty cool.
Makes freedom noise.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Nice.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it. That's about all I had about it. Up until
cool.
I get frustrated or whatever with it, but we'll see.
I'm still on the fence about getting it. I've also thought about getting the Elden Ring.
Elden Ring
just came out that comes out tomorrow. Well, it'll be out by the time this posts.
Yeah, it actually probably comes out in like 30-ish minutes or so, I think.
Probably comes out in a few minutes, yeah, somewhere in the world. From Software game. From what I've seen, it's a bit more approachable from Software game, even though it still has the difficulty of a Souls-like game, but it's an open world, big open world game. I've never played any Souls-like game, but I thought it looked pretty cool, and the backstory is written by George R.R. Martin, so, I don't know, maybe something to try. Oh, God.
Here it is. I hear it. Hey, real quick before you sign off, because obviously Lyra has discovered Joe.
She discovered this toy that my sister gave her. This toy, it's a squeaky toy. You can hear it. No, she will run up to me. She stares at me right in the eye and just goes, squeak, 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 until I pay attention to her.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway.
So did you ever play Skyrim?
Have I played Skyrim?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I haven't played Skyrim. I've played bits of Morrowind
Okay.
way back in the day, but I've never played Skyrim.
So from what I heard and what I've read, it is a mix of Skyrim and like all the other games they've made. So they have, unlike it. So with like Demon Souls is like this weird, almost open world but very linear story told. That's loud as shit. Like it's open because you can like walk around. You're not just like on a path, but you are on a path because you have to go this way to do these things.
Right.
And then like Bloodborne was a little more open because you can like there's areas you can go around and stuff in and kind of like venture around. Skyrim is if you ask me, one of the best open world games ever created. It is hard. It is a hardcore RPG where like you have skills you can unlock and upgrade and you can change how your play style is because you have this ability or blah blah blah, right? Pickpocketing and blah blah blah. There's a lot to it. It's a very great game. I've played several hours of it. Hi Lyra. It is fun. It's a good time. I've heard that Elden Ring is very much like that, but also the difficulty of a Souls game.
Right, and I've heard something similar.
So yeah, I watched the trailer yesterday, the launch trailer yesterday, and I was like, man, I just don't know if I could get into another grindy RPG game that I don't already have. You know what I mean? Like,
you have already dedicated to Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So yes, to throw a whole nother game in there that is going to be at least a 30-hour game. At least. That seems like a very low end estimate as well. It's not going to be something that'd be easy for you to probably jump back and forth between and have time to really enjoy one or the other.
Yeah, so it looks cool. It's just I'm not in the market for a long haul game like that. Because the nice thing about Destiny versus an RPG game, like Destiny's RPG light, if you ask me. And there's a little more to it now with gun crafting, blah blah blah. But like Elden Ring looks like very much Skyrim level RPG, where like there's a lot of shit to do, a lot of shit to manage, and I just don't have the time or patience to do it. Because I can jump into Destiny and just shoot a bunch of aliens to release stress. So loud.
She's literally sitting. Can you see her?
Yeah. All right, Lyra,
we'll on my bed to sit there right in my face, just right next to my ear, just.
All right, Lyra. On that note, we'll just wrap it up. So yeah, check out Elden Ring if you. I think it looks pretty cool, but it's gonna be. It's one of those things where like, it's gonna be a long haul game for the most part.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we'll wrap it up there. So Lyra will not drive everyone insane with her squeaky toy. And apparently I have to get something for Paige to drink because she is blowing up my phone like fucking mad right now. There's like 17 messages I haven't read yet.
She's thirsty and now seeing ghosts. So she's and her nose itches as well.
Oh, great. Anyhow, we'll wrap it up. Comes naturally. We have been
Joe.
I have been Cody. The squeaky one is Lyra. Paige is the thirsty one. We're out. Like usual, you fuckers just came naturally.
Bye.